This wasn't just a preseason game, this was a statement. The Atlanta Falcons just sent a strong message to the NFL. And trust me, if what we saw Friday night is any indication of what we're going to see this season, it is going to feel different. From a defense that looks mean and aggressive to rookies making plays to a quarterback showing why he belongs, we've got a lot to talk about. So let's break down everything you need to know from the preseason game 1 against the Detroit Lions. First of all, the defense. And Falcons fans, you should be excited. I don't care who was on the field, starters, backup, rookies. The scheme was sharp, the execution was clean, and the energy was sky high. Guys were flying around, hitting with a purpose, and playing with that attack-first mentality that Jeff Ulbrich has been preaching since day one. We saw tone-setting plays early, like DeMarcco Hellams delivering a bone-jarring hit that had a crowd reaction instantly. This wasn't just one or two guys either. The whole unit played fast and aggressive. And here's the thing. We didn't even have our full starting defense out there. Once the starters get into this style of defense, expect more turnovers, expect more sacks, and expect a lot of frustrated opposing quarterbacks. Now, I will say this. Even though the defense was great, it wasn't all sunshine. The second team offensive line, yikes. Terry Fontenot might want to start scanning the waiver wire because this group had a tough night. The Falcons struggled to run the ball, and Easton Stick, as good as he played, was under constant pressure. One injury to a starter, and these struggles could spill right into the regular season. Depth here has to get better, plain and simple. Now, let's talk about the rookies. Even though people don't think they'll play or have a great impact, this group is looking ready to make an impact. James Pearce Jr. was drawing double and triple teams already. I have never seen that, especially in a preseason game. I didn't know teams scheme against other players in preseason games, but apparently the Detroit Lions did. And James Pearce drew a lot of triple, double teams and a lot of chips, which I thought was encouraging. Also, Jalen Walker, he flashed playmaking ability, and he looked comfortable. A lot of people are going to say, well, I didn't see his name in the stat sheet with sacks. I didn't see James Pearce's name in the stat sheet with sacks. But those guys had an impact, and they really did cause a lot of pressure on both Hendon Hooker and the other quarterback playing for the Detroit Lions. And I also will say this. Billy Bowman was all over the field. He was making his presence felt in the nickel competition as well as special teams. He made some great plays. And when you got guys and rookies commanding that kind of respect early, you know that you got something special brewing. And Atlanta has something special brewing. So that brings us to the quarterback situation. Cornerback. A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes are locked in. We know that. But the nickel corner is still up for grabs. And D. Alford is a veteran, but he didn't play that well. And Billy Bowman is really making a real push to overtake him. This is one of those position battles that's going to go right down to the wire as preseason continues. And I think Billy Bowman took a step in closing the gap with D. Alford yesterday. Now let's give some love to Easton Stick. Even with that shaky protection, Stick completed 15 out of 18 passes for 149 yards and a touchdown. He spread the ball around to 6 different receivers and looked calm under pressure. This doesn't change that Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix Jr. situation, but Stick showed he can be a capable backup if called upon. And that matters a lot, especially as we continue to hear more rumblings about Kirk Cousins and he might get traded. We also had some standout defensive moments like Arnold Ebiketie's strip sack that Taquan Graham recovered, which was a perfect example of the pass rush improvement we've been waiting for. And how the rookie kicker Lenny Krieg drilling a 57-yard field goal in the first quarter, just 1 yard shy of Younghoe Koo's career long. There were some growing pains, I have to admit. There were some penalties, blocking issues, a few coverage laps, but overall, this was an encouraging start. And of course, this game ended in a somber note. Late in the fourth quarter, Lions cornerback Maurice Norris suffered a serious injury, and the teams came together. They stopped play, they huddled up, and then they prayed as the clock ran out. I will say this, we are all wishing Norris a full and speedy recovery, and it was a good reminder that football, it really does take a backseat to a player's health. So wishing the best for Norris. And I will appreciate Raheem Morris kind of saying, all right, we're good here. But overall, the first preseason game's in the books, and the Falcons just sent a strong message, I think. This defense looks aggressive. The rookies are ready to contribute. Easton Stick can ball. And yeah, this O-line still needs some work. And if this is what we're seeing in August, I can't wait to see what happens when the full squad hits the field in September. Falcons fans, I want to pose this question to you. What stood out most to you in the preseason game one? Drop that response in the comments below. But also, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.